Okay, so we're making the Tomahawk great again. You all know I like Tomahawks. Those of you who watch the channel a lot, I love what their place in history. Not only the history of our nation with the frontier and the westward expansion, but the history, at least for us in the Anglo-Saxons and the Franks, and some of those Germanic peoples. We used tomahawk-like weapons going back all the way back as far as we know. I love their durability, their simplicity, their duality, where they can be a tool, they can be for defense, or even, God help us, offense. They represent a whole lot of things to me. On top of that, they're functional and useful, and I use them weekly. So I love tomahawks. You'll see me sometimes in videos not even relating to the tomahawks. I'll be having a tomahawk in my hand just playing with it. When I garden, I take a tomahawk up there so I can cut steaks and drive steaks and pull strings and make sure I have straight lines and stuff. Tomahawks make everything more exciting, However, they've got some downsides. They've got some trade-offs. You get because they're the big advantage of tomahawks is that they're light, right? They're light. They're inexpensive, and that head comes off. And so if you ever break your head, it's really easy to fashion another head. And you can literally, I haven't done this on video yet, but you can take just this head, and I can go out in the woods and make a field expedient handle for this tomahawk in a matter of 15 minutes. And then it's not a great handle. You would then use that to make a better handle. But that's the big advantage here. The downside of that, the trade-off, is that you've got this really narrow tapered handle that wants to come out of your hand. And this happened to me just recently. It was silly. We have a little Patreon page, and we were taking some pictures for the Patreon page, and I was chopping with the rifleman, the big tomahawk, and it slipped out of my hands as I was on the downstroke, and it hit my foot, and it didn't cut me. I had on leather boots, but it could have been an ugly thing, and someone's gonna start talking safety to me again. The point being, that's the risk you have with tomahawks, is that they come out of your hand like that. And your hand will get tired a lot quicker. You're just not going to be able to, and as your hand gets tired, it's more likely that's going to happen. So this isn't a work tool. If you know you're going to be chopping and doing a lot of chopping, you don't take a tomahawk, even though it's portable and handy and light and reliable and functionable. So what's the alternative? Well, the alternative is a small axe. Some guys carry these, they call them forest axe. This is not a forest axe. This is the revolting axe from North Point Axe. I am shilling for them, but I can't shill for them much longer on this because they are out of these axes. There's just like a couple left. They're not going to be making any more except as a special order, and the price is going to go up. They had a really good deal on these for a while, and he could not keep making them at that price. So you can go check, see if there's a couple left, but if not, see some of his other stuff. He makes some beautiful stuff. He's been a subscriber to the channel long before he started doing these axes. So he's one of our own, and he's starting a family business, so we're trying to support him. All right, that being said, where was I? The alternative is the small axe, and this is a shipbuilding axe. The Vikings used this to build their ships. So it's got a traditional, not a traditional, it's got a, I don't remember what this is called, that's why they mount it, but it's not the tomahawk style. So you're able to have this nice, big, robust, fat handle on there that you can really get a grip on. And this has way more advantages than just not coming out of your hand. I was thinking when I first got this that the revolting axe compared to my rifleman trailhawk, because in the hand they feel about the same. They have about the same heft. So I was going to compare this to this in some head-to-head videos and see how they did. But I weighed them this afternoon on Mariah's kitchen scale, and the trailhawk is 1 pound 4 ounces. The rifleman is 2 pounds, no, I'm sorry, the trailhawk is 1 pound 6 ounces. The rifleman is 2 pounds 4 ounces. And the revolting axe ended up being 1 pound 15 ounces. It was almost 2 pounds. It's not much lighter than this rifleman, but it feels as handy and is, I won't say light, but that's the only thing I can say. It feels as light in your hand as that trailhawk, which is, what I say, 1 pound 6 ounces, so 9 ounces lighter, over half pound lighter, and they feel the same. And there's a 7 ounce difference between these two, and this feels just almost twice the weight as the revolting axe. Now, there's more than just one trade-off to that fixed head, and I'm not sure how much this will affect with this particular axe because the handle's sealed. But these heads mounted this way are susceptible to shrinkage. You know, wood shrinks and swells a lot, especially particularly different kinds of wood. And so if you put this head on in the summer when there's a lot of humidity out and the wood's swelled up, well, come winter when the humidity's down and you've got a wood fire going, that axe head's going to shrink way down and the head's going to be loose. That doesn't matter with the Tomahawks because you've got this whole shape of handle. It just naturally seats itself every time you swing it. That handle's never going to shrink enough for that handle's never going to shrink enough for that head to come off the top. That is not an insignificant consideration because it doesn't seem like a big deal in our modern world where we have climate control and humidity control. Well, climate control controls your humidity, and our axe handles can be sealed like this one is. But in the Tiawaki World Rule of Law (SHTF), that wood shrinkage and swelling is a big deal. If you ever lived in the South without air conditioning, growing up we had a set of cabinets that had a crack down the middle. In the winter, in the summer there was no crack. It swelled completely shut. In the winter it was probably open a 1/4 inch or more at the top. Now that was pine, and that pine is bad about swelling and shrinking. But the principle is the same. Hickory will do it. Oak will do it. I don't know anything about rosewood, but most woods will shrink and swell like that. Walnut's considered the most stable wood as far as that goes, and it will still shrink and swell some. That's why they like to use it for gun stocks, as it doesn't do that as bad as others. So you got trade-offs here. The other, in this particular instance, did we show the top yet? Mm-mm. You can see how thin the Trailhawk is compared to how thick this revolting axe is. This is almost as thin as a machete, and I've used this before frequently to do just one-hit swipes through saplings and stuff. I don't have this revolting axe sharpened the way I want it yet. Everyone's got to sharpen it themselves. So I'm not doing any head-to-head comparisons. I know this will be a much better, daily work axe, all day long work axe. This might be a better cruising through the woods axe. I'm not sure yet. I'll have to try it. I'll have to play with that. So my revolting axe is not replacing my Tomahawk, even though we're making the Tomahawk great again. It's not replacing it. This will stay on my Minuteman gear. For situations where, because it's more portable and I can replace that handle if need be, and it's just a little bit easier out of the way, or it's a little bit easier to carry and more out of the way, whereas this would be a little harder to carry. But what it might replace is it might replace my Rifleman, because I'm not sure where the Rifleman fits now. My idea was always to take the Rifleman when I knew I was going to be chopping, extended trips, survival, that sort of stuff. When I knew there was going to be lots of all-day chopping. If I know that's the case now, I almost think I'd rather have this, just because of the handle and how all-day long work with this would be wood. I don't even sure all-day long work with this is possible until you really get strong and broken in. I've used this thing a lot. I've used it a lot, and I split firewood every year. I split our firewood by hand. I'm used to swinging these things, and this one can still even wear me down pretty quick. So I think the Rifleman may be out of a job, and the Trailhawk, listen to me, the revolting axe will go with me anytime I know I'm going to be chopping. I think. We'll see. I don't know yet. Like I said, I haven't got it sharpened yet. I haven't done any head-to-head. This is all speculation on my part. But I don't know. I still haven't got that trade-off between having the handle swell and shrink on you, and because I'm thinking about taking the finish off of this one because it's almost the exact right width for my hand, and if I took it down just like a 64th, it might just be married to my hand. It might just stay there naturally. So I'm thinking if I might just take the finish off it anyway, just to get that last little bit of fit. So now do I start having trouble, because we heat with wood. So in the winter, this thing is it going to shrink so much that this head gets a little loose? I don't know. Maybe he set the handle in a real dry environment, and it's already shrunk down as far as it's going to. I don't know, we'll see. Those are just trade-offs I guess you got to think about. I probably should have started this video that way and talked about that, and it would have gone a lot quicker. But there you go, man. We appreciate you. Thank you.